So we want to start off this the drafting of this corset gown. So you can see it's a pointy corset with Queen Anne neckline. Okay, so this is actually very creative. So I'll be showing you the easiest way to go about this gown. It's a corset gown. Okay, all right. So now I've already made my basic lines. And this is my starting point, which is the shoulder line. This is the chest line. This is my bust point, my under bust point, my waistline. We are drafting this for the front. This is my hip position. This is my knee, that is above the knee, 4 inches above the knee. What I mean by that is my knee is 41. This is my hip position at 29. My actual knee, where my knee position is 41. You have to count 1, 2, 3, 4 to have this knee line. Then I'll be using the full length of this paper as the full length of this gown. It's actually a pencil gown. So now I've already imputed my shoulder divide by 2, as you can see right here, and I've already imputed my armhole. Of course, you know how to go about it. My neckline is 3 inches for now. It's a Queen Anne neckline, so I'm not going to go further making further neckline. So my round bust divided by 4 is 10. My actual hip divided by 4 is 9.5. My actual waist, my hip circumference divided by 4 here is 11.5. I will mark. Then I have 11.5 here. On the knee, I will take away 1.5 from 11.5. I believe you understand. My hip is 11.5. So I'm going to do 11.5 minus 1.5 to get my knee. So if I do that, I'll be having 10 inches. So I'll just go ahead and mark 10 inches on the knee line. And I'll also mark that same 10 inches on my hem line. Okay, so that is how to go about the drafting of this gown. So from my hem, I'll just connect a straight line from my hem. Then from the hip, I will go up by 2 inches before I connect to have my upper hip. Can you see? From my hip. So I'll just go ahead and draw my line indicating my upper hip. So whatever measurement I have on my lower hip here, 11.5, I'll transfer it back to the upper hip this way. Then I'll do this, and then I'll bring in my ruler from there to, you see how I placed my ruler? I'll connect it to the hip position. Then I'll come back with my ruler this way. You can see how I'm placing my ruler. I'll connect it back to form the hip. So this is where the hip is going to sit for the front of this dress. Then I'm going to go this way. Can you see? I'm going to go this way and connect to the hip. So I'll be showing you the easiest method to go about the drafting of this corset. So after you have done this, the next thing you are going to do is to come to your bust point line and mark your bust span. My bust span is 7. Divided by 2 is 3.5. I'll just go ahead and make a mark. On the waist, I'll mark that bust span again. So once I've done that, I'll just go ahead and rule a line. This line, I'll just use broken lines for it because actually I'm not creating any dots for this dress. I'll just use my brack up to achieve what I want to achieve very easily right here. So while I have to make this my bust span is to make it easy for me to locate where I'm going to place my brack up. So we are going to make the connection of this on the chest line. So normally when we are making a corset, from the chest line you come in by 0.5 inch. So this 0.5 inch is going to be the center boning line for this corset. So I'll drop it at this point, then I'll come up with my bra cup. So I'm going to sit my bra cup on before you choose your bra cup, please make sure you watch the video. I'll be dropping the link on the description box below on the best way to choose your bra cup, your actual bra cup for your size. So make sure you watch that video so you'll be able to know which bra cup you'll be using for this project. So you can see how I dropped it. I dropped it at the under bust line, and I make sure it touched this line. So I'll just take the shape of my bra cup. As you can see, I'll take the shape of this bra cup. Okay, so with this method you'll be able to make any corset of your choice and style it the way you want. So I find it very helpful, and that is where why I'm sharing it with you. So now this is where I have the bra cup seated. So at this point the bra cup stops. That is where we are going to have our new line. So I will not make use of this line again, as you can see me taking it off. So I'll now take off my bra cup because I've actually gotten what I want. I want you to do this before you take it off. Okay, so what I'm about to do now is very important. So I place back that bra cup, and you notice that this is where it stops. Okay, and it stops at this point. Please, because we are working with our bra cup, do this. Can you see? So you are going to see why we did this. So what I did is just to draw out the bust area. That is what I did there. So this will enable us now to construct whatever thing we want to do or construct for this particular dress. So after that, the next I will do is to come over to the shoulder line. Note that this is my 3 inches shoulder width. So I will come from here to here, divide what I have here by 2. This is the midline. So once I've done that, I'll go ahead and do what? Connect this midline straight. So that will now help us to create this design we are looking for. I connected it to the bust point. So now we want to start off constructing the pointy corset. So for this pointy corset, the first thing I will do, I just want to ignore this line. Okay, I was thinking I'm going to make use of it. So you have to keep your ruler straight on the bust point and extend this line. Okay, so you can see I've extended this line, but I'm going to take my measurement from the shoulder at 4.5. That is the extension where I want the line to stop. So I will stop the extension of this line at 4.5. Okay, so once I've stopped it at 4.5 inches, from here to here, 4.5 inches bust span, I'll place my ruler this way. From this part we have the corset stop. I'm going to place it this way, the way it is right there on the thumbnail. I will connect. I'll place my ruler this way once again to the armhole, as you can see. So I'll just place it at the armhole and I'll connect to get the pointy bust here. Then I'm going to extend this line to touch this line. Can you see? So please take note of that. So I will name this 1 and I'll name this 2. So these are part of the corset. So these 2 comprises of what we have here, okay, which we are going to use our bra cup to create, and the 1 comprises of what we have from here to here, which we are going to cut off. So you see how we are going to achieve this at the end of the day. So the next thing, I'll come to this 3 inches now, and I'm going to connect these 3 inches directly from here. It will go all the way into the armhole as well. Okay, so I'll have it touch this part. So this is how this is actually going to look. So but if you look at that dress, somehow this gap we have here, I think is too much for this Queen Anne. So what I will do is this. I'm going to reconnect this. So from here where I have the corset, I'll just come in by 1.5. That is, from this point I'll come in by 1.5. I think it will be better for a better construction. So I'll keep my ruler this way. Let me use the straight part of it, because that part is actually straight. So this is the line I'm going to use. So this is better. So I'll take off this line. So this becomes the yoke. So I believe you understand. So from here to this 1.5. Okay people, so we are done right now, and that is all you need for this dress. So I'll be showing you how to use this bra cup here to create that perfect design without having any doubt, or without, you know, trying to trouble yourself with calculations of that, you know, and all that. So I'll come in with my masking tape. I think I've done something like this. I've done something like this so many times on my channel. So if you have been following Simbright Fashion Academy YouTube channel, so I will advise you to always turn on your notification bell to receive beautiful videos like this. So this is actually very, very creative. So once you have gotten your actual bra cup size, like I said before, try and go back to the video on the description box below to check out how you can choose your appropriate bra cup size in the market. So this is it. Your bust pan, this is the bust pan line, and draw a straight line. That is exactly what I did here. And now I'm going to connect that curve as if I'm making a princess dart. Okay, so I'll take it this way. Can you see? I'll take it this way. So this curve I have here, by the time I cut off this side and join this fabric, I'll be able to have exactly what I'm looking for on this pattern. So you see how I took it? I took it as if I'm making a princess dart from here with it. Okay, so that is the only way you can have it, this way. So I don't want to make it a 3-part corset. If I want to make it a 3-part, I'll just start designing it. So whatever design you want to make with this method, we are good to go. Right now I'm going to make pointy arrows for my bust point. So when I see that, I'll know that is my bust point. And here on the upper side, I'll just make double arrow. That is my upper side. So the part without the lines is my down part. So of course you understand what I mean is you need to identify the up and the up, so you know that this part is the down, and you need to identify the side and the side. So whatever mark you want to make, so you'll not be confused at the end of the day, please do that. So I'll take off my bra cup now. So I've really found this method very easy for making corset. So you can enjoy designing your corset any style you want using this method. So this is it. Can you see? So please don't allow it to squeeze. So the way it is right here, you cannot just place it on fabric and start to cut. You need to cut it out and join it back. So that is why I have to make this line. So I'll just go here on that line, gently and gently and gently and gently I cut off. So once I've cut off, I'll place it on a flat surface this way. Place it on a separate flat surface this way. Okay, so please don't allow it to squeeze much, so you don't have it shrinking. So that becomes our pattern now. So I'll just go ahead and trim what I have there. Like, I'll just cut it. So that will be my pattern. So when you want to be creative with corsets like this method is very easy. So you don't need to start, you know, cracking your brain to make massive calculations like that. All right, so this is it. I'll set it aside. Okay, so when I join it, you can see the dart is there. So let me set it aside, then we'll go over to the pattern. So here is what we are going to have at the end of the day. So assuming you're making a dart, of course you know how to go about it. So the next I will do is to cut out this pattern. So like I said, it's actually a Queen Anne pointy corset gown. Okay, as you can see right there on the thumbnail, there is much creativity to it. So I'm just taking my time to do this. I'll just come to the armhole here. Of course, it's going to have a sleeve, so you can go about the sleeve yourself. So I'll just go here and stop here for now. Okay. So once that is done, I'll now come in here, go in here to bring out the number 1, which is the pointy corset, which we are going to use to attach. Okay, so I set this one aside, which is the yoke. Then I'll come over to here and cut here this way. That's why I have to cut this on camera for you to see. Can you see? Then this one, I'll set it aside, number 1, with the yoke. We'll come back to it anyway. Then this part, number 2, has been replaced with the masking tape. So once I cut it out, because it has been replaced with the masking tape, I'll throw it away. Can you see? I'll throw it away. We don't need it. So what we need now is the body corset. We need the body corset. Can you see? So I'll just do this. Go on the side. Okay, this is actually a fitted gown, so I didn't add any ease to it. And of course, I know you know why. So it's a pencil gown. So I'll just go about it this way. Then the center front of this dress is going to be on fold. So if you're actually making this dress, note that you place the center front on fold. So if you're a beginner in this class and you want to learn how to make perfect gowns, we have our ongoing gown series training on Telegram. You can also join us to learn more. So here will be on fold for your gown. So this is the body's gown from the corset point to the full length. So I'll set it aside as well. Then I'll come back with what I have right here. Okay, so this is the corset we have right there. So I'll just simply join this part. Okay, so this is how I'm going to join it. This part, I'll just go ahead and make a mark on it this way. That's how I'm going to cut it off now. So I'll first turn it this way and use my masking tape to seal it up. So it becomes one full corset to sew with. I believe you understand what I'm saying. So it becomes one full corset to sew with now. Okay, so this is it. So I'll feel free to continue the cutting this way. So when I'm going to cut out this, whether I'm going to use my wadding. Okay, I'm going to double my wadding, double them like 3 or 4 of it. Of course, you know what the wadding is. Because of this shape, you might actually not really need a bra cup for it, but you can still use your bra cup for it. Fine and good. But with your wadding, once you join it, it gives you that perfect result. So now once you have joined this part, next is to, this is how it was before. I'll now simply bring this to meet up with what I have here, okay, because the joining of this from the center front will go all the way to form one full corset. As we have, this is the center front area, please correct that, side and center front, that's what I meant to say. So I'll just turn it this way. From the beginning of that, I'll go ahead and lay my masking tape as well, like that. So I'll just arrange it appropriately. Make sure you don't give any gap to it. So I'll just arrange it appropriately from this point to this point with no gaps, okay? Okay. So I'll just okay, this one was supposed to be here. Okay, so I believe you understand. So it's just a continuation. So I believe you just understand what I did here, okay? So make sure you have the line the way it should. All right, so once you are done joining it, it becomes one full corset for you. So by the time we come in with it this way, this is how it was. By the time you sew from here, you know how you sew your corset, you go this way, that way, this becomes the center front, okay? So everything lies this way. All right, so we are done with the front, so you can see how easy this actually looks like. This is the full pattern which we are going to sew right here, and then finally the yoke will be sewn. That's after making the corset, the yoke will be sewn. So this is the pattern. Of course, you know how to go about your corset, okay? So this pointy corset, this is how you can achieve it, okay? So this part will be fully sewn this way, and then you have the yoke this way. All right, so let's go over to the back right now. So the back is very simple too. All you need to do is to draw your lines. Of course, you are familiar with these lines: the shoulder, the chest, the waist for the back. We don't need bust point and under bust because there's no bust on the front. This is the hip, and this is the knee position, okay, which is 4 inches above the knee, and this is our full length. So I've already gotten my shoulder measurement, and my neckline remains the same, okay? Neckline remains 3 inches. Then the midline, I found the midline of my armhole. For the back armhole, I'm coming in by 1/2 inch. So once I've done that, I'll connect it this way, and then I'm going to impute my bust divide by 4. So bust divide by 4 is 10 inches. Waist divide by 4 is 9.5. Remember, know that the hip divide by 4 is 11.5. Then I took away 1.5, if you remember, which gave me 10 inches for the front. And I do the same here, 10 inches for the full length. So I'll just connect straight line to my full length, the same way I did for the front. I'll just come in on the waistline this way. Always note how the rulers are placed. Then I'll come up 2 inches from my hip line, 2 inches on the hip line this way, and rule my line across. So I'll measure what I have, my hip divided by 4. I'll place it right here, and then have a straight line this way. Then I'll go this way into my waist position, and then I'll go this way into my armhole to have that shape, and then I'll go ahead and round off my armhole. As you can see, So this is easy and simple. Now for the, if you look at the back, you will see there is a lacing for the back. So that lacing we are going to have for the back, this is what I'm going to do for it. First, I'll create my neckline at 1 inch before I start to place my lacing. I'll go ahead and do this, as you can see normally. So this is the center back, but the lacing goes all the way on the neckline. It's a high neckline because it's a Queen Anne neckline on the front, so it usually goes with a high neckline. So from here, I'll come in by 2 inches. That is how far I want my, or let me do 1.5 because that lacing is not much. I'll come in here by 1.5. So when you open it, you have 3 inches lacing. If you want it wider, you can increase 1.5 to 2 inches. But for this class, I'll just use 1.5 all the way to the upper hip line. Okay, this is my hip line, but I'll have it done at the upper hip line. So I'll just connect a straight line from my lacing. That is my corset lacing. I'll have it run all the way from here, somewhere here. Then I'll curve this part, as you can see right there on the thumbnail. I'll just do a little curve. So I'm just finding the curve part that will, can you see? So that becomes it. So the rest of this part will be joined together. So we'll be having the lacings this way. Of course, you know how we lace it. I believe you understand what you are just seeing right there. Everything goes this way to the end. So once I'm cutting this dress now, this is how I'm going to cut it, because this is all we need for the back, and it's as simple as what you are seeing me do right here. So all you need to do is place this on fabric. And so at the end of the day, I would like to see the outcome of this dress on the WhatsApp page. So if you have not joined our WhatsApp, you have the link on the description page to join us. So there you can also post some of the styles you would want me to illustrate, apart from the styles we have in our paid classes. So I just go here this way, like this, and cut out. That is how this back will go. Can you see? So this becomes the lacing, and this becomes the center back. So you are going to sew it till you have the opening. Okay, that center opening, you stop at where you want the slit to be. So this becomes the pattern for the back, as you can see. So it's quite very simple. So now we want to create that, we like call it the cage art. Of course, you see the what we have from the on the front area. Okay, so that stuff we have from that forms a basque. I'll bring in the front pattern to demonstrate to you how to go about that. This dress is not splitted to attach that, is sewn right on top of it. So when you are sewing this is the waistline. It depends on how down you want to sew this. So I will always prefer to come down, let me say at 6 inches, and then from these 6 inches you can now form the basque right on your dress. After cutting this pattern, you just use your chalk line. You are not cutting off anything, please. Okay, we are not cutting anything, please. So for the creating of that design, once you have marked this line on your pattern, just go to the hem, the length of this dress, take the measurement of this to here. I have 26. From this 26, I will take the measurement till I get here, and here I have 38. So on this way, from here to here, I have 26. Let me have it separately, okay? Because the way we are going to create this, we are going to create it separately too. So let me measure this differently. Here I have let me say I have 11.5. Then note that that design came all the way at 26, and from here you now fold it this way, and it goes right to the back too. it goes right to the back too. So if it's going to be on the waistline, then it means we'll also determine where the bust for the waistline is going to be. Of course, the bust is a curved line, so if I have the front this way, then the back, I'm going to curve in the back now. All right, people, so I just want to make a little correction. Okay, this bust for the front, it was not connected to the waist. It was connected about 2 inches below the waist. So on your waist for the front, just simply step down by 2.5. Let me do 2.5. Okay, then I'll come down from here by 2 inches. Okay, that's everything from the waist should be about I had it at 6 inches before. Okay, so it's not supposed to be too deep anyway. So if you come down by 2 inches from here, since we have 6, let me do 8. Okay, so we'll have that curvy corset. Okay, so we are not going with this anymore unless you want to have this done at the waist. Okay, but for what I'm seeing right there, that running is 2 inches below, 2.5 inches and 8 inches at the center. So if that is the case, then it means the back too will be 2.5 inches from the waist, 2.5 inches from the waist, from here to here, 2.5. Then this one has a curve. Okay, so if you look at where the slit is, so the slit is somewhere on the knee line, but I'll just above the knee, I'll just come up a little bit, so I'll have the slit at this point. So for this, you can see I'll just freehand it because what I have on my ruler might not actually give me what I want. So this is how it went for this. So I'm going to take the measurement of what I have on this line to here. So if you look at this dress, you can see it's actually very intensive. Okay, it's actually a detailed corset. So here I have 19.5, so let me do it 20 inches. So these figures I have here, I'll be using these figures right now to create my... So right now I'm going to show you how to go about that design, but I'll just do it in a smaller scale because I don't actually have much paper to illustrate this. So the fabric you are going to make use of, just fold that fabric by 2, as you can see me do with this paper right here. So once you have folded the fabric at this point of this of the fabric, just go ahead and measure. Take the measurement of the what we have on the length of the front, the length of the front to the point we have the basque. Okay, I'm going to retake it because we can't see this line. So now we have it at 24. So I have it at 24 inches now, and the basque from here now is the same 11.5. Okay, so I'm working with 24 inches as the first measurement. So from this this is the full length. Okay, that's the down part of this. So I'll measure 24 inches. So like I said, I'm using a small scale to demonstrate this, so I'll just use 15 inches to represent my 24 inches. Okay, so at this 15 inches right now, I'm going to make inches and mark. Then on the basque line we have 11.5 inches. So that is after 24, which I measured at this point. I'm going to take the measurement of my basque at 11.5. So from here, like I said, I don't have enough paper to demonstrate this, so I'll just go by 8 inches to demonstrate my basque line. So at that 8 inches, that is my 11.5. I'll just make a line on my pattern this way. Okay, so the width of this dress, okay, you are going to make use of 5 inches for it. 5 inches is okay, so by the time you open it you have 10 inches. So that 5 inches, I'm going to extend the 5 inches line this way till I get to this point, which I have 24, and I will mark. Then from this line, okay, I'm going to measure 10 inches from this line. I'll just measure 10 inches and I'll mark. Then I'll connect that 10 inches line to this line this way. Can you see that? Then from here to here is going to serve as the measurement of my basque for the back, and the measurement I have here, all the measurement I have here, which is the back from the back, will be this 20 inches. I believe you. So now once you are done connecting on the 11.5 line, then you take your measurements at 10 inches and then connect this to this. Okay, so after that, the length of what you are going to have here is going to be the length of the basque for the back, which I measured at 20 inches. So I'll now pretend from here to here the full length for the back is my 20 inches. So this 20 inches line, I'll just go ahead and connect these two. From here to here, I'll go in by 1.5, and that 1.5 I'll just connect it this way to this pointy part. I believe you understand that. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to shaping. If you look at that dress, you can see that it is not equal at the front. That design is not equal, so I'll just do 3 inches. So when I open the tip of it, I'll have 6 inches. So I'll connect it this way. I'll blend it back this way, so I no longer need this line right now. So this is the actual shape we have. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'll be taking the measurement of what I have here, which is 5 inches. I'll do this. This is what I'll do from here. 5 inches, 5 inches, okay, 5 inches, 5 inches. From here I'll mark 5. Okay, here I'll just mark I'll just do this. This is what I actually want to do. Okay, so I'll just connect the 5 inches I got from here this way. I won't measure here. Then I'll start my 5 inches here again. 5 inches this way, 5 inches. So what I'm doing here is like when you are making a cage art dress, if you actually want that part to rest on the hip very well, you need to do or create something like this, that curve. So if you are familiar with cage art, you understand what I'm doing here. So I just took the measurement of what I have here all around. So if you also want this part to be a little bit longer, instead of measuring 5 inches, once I get to this 5 inches, I'll come in a little. So I just feel like reducing it at that point. So here will be longer for us. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open the back of this. Okay, let me just cut out the shape. So you actually see the shape. So what I'm creating here is the base for that design. Is the base for this design. So I'll just cut out the base for this design, as you can see. Then I'll now come in from here and cut out the part that will rest on the hip line. I'll just cut it out to the basque line. Okay, so by the time we place this on the hip, this is what we are going to. So I'll just open up the back, because this back will go directly. So I can just blend out this pointy part. Don't give it any pointy shape. Okay, so this is the shape we have, and that is how it's going to rest on the hip. So by the time it goes this way, can you see? By the time we attach it on the center front of the dress, let me say the dress has been sewn. Okay, before you close the center back, this is the center front area. So like I said, this is a small scale, of course you understand. So this 24 inches length will just rest here. Once you get here, you take this way. Can you see? Because I'm not working with the actual length, you will not appreciate this. But if this is the actual length, this part now will be resting on this hip line this way. I believe you understand it. It will be resting from this point this way. Can you see? That's how it's going to rest. So use your actual measurements, and at the end of the day you'll be glad you watched this tutorial. So this is the base we just created. Now we want to start creating that design on top of this base. So to create that design, you just make a mark right here, and I'll be creating this design the way I see it right there. So from here I'll do something like this. I'll do something like this. So the width I want to use for this is the width of my ruler. Okay, I want to make it easy for me. So I'll just place my ruler there, and I'll keep marking the width of my ruler. Okay, so I'll just keep marking the width of my ruler. Okay, so if you actually want to make this dress, especially this part I'm making now, you need more hands to help you make it. Okay, so this is just the pattern of that design which I'm creating. So all of this design right now, we are going to cut it out, okay, with separate fabric and turn it, and then begin to place them one after the other. So this is the front design, and the back design is by choice. You can make any design of your choice. You can just continue making the lines this way. You can make any design of your choice, but I'm just giving you an idea of what you can make for this design. Okay, so you can just keep going this way, that way, you know, that way. So you can look at the dress very well and look at how the design is patterned. So when you come here, you continue that way. So whatever you rule here on this base, that is where you are going to place all these short pieces of fabric you are going to cut. That's how you are going to place it. So I'm just ruling it, but you can just look at that picture and create the design. This is just an idea I'm creating. So now, if you have your fabric that you want to work with, let me say I'm working with this fabric now. Once I come with my fabric and I want to make this particular one or this one, so I'll now come in and fold my fabric this way. I'll fold my fabric this way. Okay, so I'll just come in with that my ruler this way. Then I'll add my seam allowance. I'm adding my seam allowance now. So once I fold my fabric, I place my ruler and add my seam allowance. I placed half an inch. I added half an inch because that is what I'm going to sew with. I'll just do this. So if you look at the measurements we have, so this is how you are going to cut out your fabric pieces. Okay, so once you go over to your machine, you can, you know, run the stitches and turn. That is if you want, but if you don't want, you can just stitch it together and search them. Okay, search them. So this is the pattern, as you can see, and this is the shape you'll be having on that pattern. So here is going to rest on the hip to give you that design. So now I'm cutting two of this. One will serve as lining and one will serve as base. So you cut this pattern, two of it on your fabric. You are going to stay your fabric with your hair stay, okay, or your peplum stay. Anything stay you want, you can stay it, but this is going to be two pieces of fabric. Then for the lining part, you just set it aside. There won't be any stay for it, but for this you have a stay at the back of your fabric. Then you come in with your pieces. So once you go to your machine, you follow all of these lines. So on your machine, you first sew this line. Okay, for now we'll leave this because we just cut out the shape of this to sew, to attach. Or if you want, you can just cut out exactly this triangle and fix it on that part, stitch it this way as a starting base. So but from here I'm going to do this. I'll do this and I'll stitch on my machine. Once I've done that, the next I'll come in with it this way. I'm going to align it this way. Okay, so make sure you turn it to have that shape. Okay, so as I'm aligning it this way, I'm making sure I have this V shape on this line. So once I'm done with that, I'll come in with the next one, following this line again, and I'm going to place it this way. Can you see? So once I've placed it this way, I'll come in with the next one right now, and I'll place it this way. Can you see? One on top of the other, one on top of the other, one on top of the other, one on top of the other. So when I come in with this one, I'll still follow this line. Okay, then I'm going to stitch on my machine this way, just a little above, so it will keep covering like that. So once I've done that, okay, so all these things you are going to stitch them. Take note, I'm not actually making something serious here, but with what I have here, I believe you understand what I'm talking about here. I don't have much fabric to continue, but the next one you place it on top to cover the stitching line. If you follow this principle, you'll be able to cover especially these parts that are crossing each other. For this part, you just keep laying your fabric like this on top of each other, you know. Then at the end of the day, you turn it back and trim off the excess. I don't really want to make a full tutorial, but I believe you understand what I'm doing here. Okay, so we can make this tutorial another day. So if you want us to make something like this, please drop your comments on the comment section. Anytime I have that much time, I will create this design using this pattern, showing you how to turn it, as you can see. So thank you very much for coming to this tutorial. If you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe, turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends, drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. Thank you once again. See you in the next class. Bye.